diplomat, right?
Absolutely. Well, all right. Well, it was all over the news recently when an Australian woman who was told she might never get pregnant gave birth to twins who were conceived 10 days apart.
Yes, this story, I remember when we did this story, this shocked both of us. This, in fact, is so rare, there are only 10 cases of this documented worldwide.
But the story got us thinking, because I got twin boys.
Yes, and I have a set of triplets, and we wanted to explore just a little step further and find out other maybe interesting or little-known facts about multiples.
So joining us now is Dr. Catherine Brownstein, a geneticist from Boston Children's Hospital. Thank you so much for joining us on your morning.
Thank you so much for having me.
And giving us minutes and minutes to talk more about multiples, which is fascinating. I thought I knew everything there was to know. Clearly, I do not. Every year, more than 6,000 sets of twins are born in this country. Twins, much more common than we realize. What are some of the key ways to determine if a woman is likely to have identical or fraternal twins, and can you tell?
So, basically, identical twins are considered to be more sporadic, that they just kind of happen by chance, you can't predict it. And fraternal twins seem to run in families. Actually, different ethnicities have different rates of having twins, and then different pockets of the world have extremely high rates of having twins, and nobody really knows why yet.
But so one thing that I learned from you is that there aren't just two types of twins. I thought it was fraternal and identical, but you've told me that there's a different type of twin.
So in genetics, it seems like if you can imagine it, it's probably happened somewhere at some time. So there's recently been a case where the twins were determined to be 75% identical, which is the same egg that from the mother, but two different sperm. Yeah, and normally you would think, okay, there's no way that could be viable, but the embryo wouldn't live. But there it was able to have two healthy children that were actually 75% identical.
That's incredible, because most people think if you're identical, then you're 100% identical, then everything about you exactly the same. This can even translate into the features of the body, correct? So they can be identical but not necessarily look identical?
Oh, yes. Well, and, with those twins that are separated at birth studies and then they meet each other, a lot of times there are factors that are really kind of crazy, like they have the same brand and shade of lipstick in their bag or something like that. But then sometimes you'll see differences, like one's much taller than the other one, one's shorter, and that's just environment. That what your diet, where you live,
it's the nature-nurture thing.
Exactly.
There's something written on this card that you have to clear up for me, and I have to read it because I can't wrap my head around it. If identical male twins have children with identical female twins, their children will legally be cousins, but genetically siblings. Please explain.
So, it's like a game show question. Like, are you getting $1 million?
Okay, please.
So it's totally true. So if you have an identical twin, they are genetically the same. They're not the same person, but they're genetically identical. So they have the same DNA. And then if they marry and have kids with another set of identical twins, their kids are technically 50% identical, just like siblings. So genetically, they are siblings, but legally, they are cousins. Because they're from two different...
We need to copyright this idea immediately, you and I, and produce
a show or a movie, and one of them is evil, and the other one gets framed for the murder.
Perfect, but they're siblings, so they don't want to put each other in jail.
Oh, so it's a double jeopardy thing.
Yes. Okay, all right, okay. But back to the interview. As of 2011, approximately 100 sets of combined of triplets, quads, and quintuplets were born each year. So I'm part of that very small group. We have a set of triplets. This number seems to be growing across the country. What are some of the factors for that?
So fertility,
by the way. It's Olivia on the left, Annabelle in the middle, Max.
Are they always in the same order?
They often sit them. See, there they did it again. They often do this. Isn't that interesting? Yeah. Anyway, continue. Sorry.
Was that how they were
in utero? Annabelle was baby A, Libby was baby B, and Maxine was baby C.
Look at that. It's like Destiny's Child with Beyonce always.
How did you get
with better fertility treatments? The rates of multiples have been going up, and yeah, it seems to be, before it was a rare thing to have twins in your class, and now it kind of seems like it's the norm. Like every single elementary school has many, many sets of twins.
Okay, and I've got just one last question. It's pretty much a true or false, and then you can explain it. But I heard that identical twins don't always have the same fingerprints.
That's true.
Because in the movies, they always tell you that the twins have the same fingerprints. How is that possible? I thought it was part of the genetic makeup.
No, fingerprints actually are partly due to amniotic fluid movement. So
Mind blown.
Murder mystery is that the twins get away with it because they're identical and you can't tell. It's because they didn't leave fingerprints behind.
Look at that. See, those are my guys right there. That's Brian on the left and John on the right, and John's now on the top. And I can tell them apart.
I was gonna say, are they identical?
No, they're fraternal, but maybe they're this 50 or 75% identical. I don't know. I just don't know. There they are.
All right, I want to thank you for coming in today. This is fascinating. We have so much more to explore with you.
Anytime.
Thank you. Next time we have another mystery, we will bring Catherine in to solve it for us.
Woo! Thank you.
More